WQAD's Good Morning Quad Cities continues.
Our timer now is 5:30. Welcome back here to Good Morning Quad Cities.
Thank you for joining us. Topping our news this morning, some members of the Rock Island County Board are trying to downsize the group. Right now, 25 people sit on the board. In 2012, voters overwhelmingly showed support for shrinking the group, but that referendum was non-binding. Now Republican members say it's the board's job to cut the number of members. They created a task force last night to start laying the groundwork. Downsizing likely won't take place until after the census next year. Voting districts will be redrawn in 2022.
Governor J.B. Pritzker is expanding abortion rights for women in Illinois. This comes as he signed the bill yesterday at the Chicago Cultural Center. The new law removes restrictions on late-term abortions, long waiting periods, and spousal consent. Doctors who perform these procedures also cannot be charged. The new law also expands insurance coverage for abortion procedures and birth control. Pritzker says the new law makes Illinois the most progressive state when it comes to women's reproductive rights.
An Illinois lawmaker from our area says she thinks the public was misled by this new law. Republican State Representative Tony McCombie says supporters of it told people the abortion bill just makes current rules the law. She says that's not the case, though, as the bill changes the definition of abortion issues in the state. Instead, Representative McCombie sees the law as an expansion of abortion in Illinois.
Unfortunately, I think it is an expansion. I also don't think it should be mandated for taxpayers to pay for choice. And I also don't think we as a state should have mandated private insurers to pay for it either.
The bill comes as other states pass restrictive laws that have polarized the debate around this issue.
Records show Dubuque city leaders knew of more sexual harassment complaints than they recorded. According to KCRG in Cedar Rapids, an investigation found only one case over the last 7 years. Emails revealed city leaders planning to meet with a police officer over harassment and discrimination complaints back in 2017. That officer filed a formal lawsuit over those complaints against the city and its police chief last week. A Cedar Rapids sexual harassment attorney says organizations should document a complaint.
Former Vice President Joe Biden is leading the polls in the race to be the next president as he wraps up a two-day tour in Iowa. News 8's Bianca Reyes shows us how he's trying to connect with voters in the Quad City area.
This morning it was just going to be a girls' breakfast, and little did we know.
For those inside Tasty Cafe, their usual breakfast came with a surprise.
I can hear the headline, Biden comes in and steals hotcakes from ladies.
Former Vice President Joe Biden joined Leanne Schneckloff and Barbara Keel for breakfast.
We were in the right place, and he just shook hands and sat right here and
You ready?
wanted my camera and took a selfie. And that's the closest I've ever been to a prospective candidate.
The two surprised to see a big-name candidate in their hometown.
Everything with the farming, and it's nice to see a candidate interested in that.
Biden now looking to win over Iowa one town at a time.
Joe wanted to, just talk to regular type people and, not necessarily all the big city folks.
Good to see you.
A 2020 presidential candidate hoping to prove his experience.
Having served as vice president and having met a lot of the major world leaders and stuff, that he thought that put him in a pretty good position to understand things and be able to relate and communicate.
I really am still optimistic, not about winning or losing. I'm optimistic about the country.
One of many Democratic presidential candidates on the trail.
It's always nice to have a former vice president drop into your community unannounced and say hello. You can't beat that.
Hoping to win the nomination and surprising a few along the way.
I'm in awe. It was just supposed to be a girls' breakfast.
My wife is gonna flip.
In Eldridge, Bianca Reyes, WQAD News 8.
The first Democratic primary debate is less than 2 weeks away, hard to believe, on June 26th in Miami. The time is 5:34, and it's a chilly start to this June morning. Eric joins us with an update to traffic and weather.
Yeah, good reminder. It is June, even though it maybe feels like April or May outside. Look at traffic and weather together here on News 8 as we look out at I-80 and Middle Road. You can see right up in the upper right-hand corner, and maybe upper middle, you can see there's the Betplex and I-80 and Middle Road moving along fine. Let's go to I-74 and Middle Road, and no issues to speak of here. The bridge looking great right now, but of course volume will build. Oh, you can see a little boat going out, taking some of those hard workers. They're getting out to get that bridge working here early this morning. 56 degrees right now at the Quad City International Airport, 52 in Davenport. Look at the sun coming over. I love it when you see clouds on the horizon like that. It almost looks like a mountain range to me, where the sun is coming over the mountain on the eastern horizon. We look at temperatures, upper 40s and low 50s outside. Hard to complain about any weather here. Even the rain yesterday, we can take that. It was pretty light. Temperatures for today going up into the 60s by about 10 o'clock this morning, looking for highs in the lower 70s. Now, as good as our weather is today, we do have to talk about some changes between now and Saturday, how you should plan your weekend. Coming up.
Eric, thank you. Our flood recovery coverage continues this morning as the Mississippi and the Quad Cities now out of major flood stage. It is now allowing barge traffic to start moving again along the Mississippi. 5 tow barges have passed through lock number 15 in Rock Island since it reopened Sunday. That's because several locks downriver, including Muscatine and New Boston, remain closed due to high water. Trains have picked up some of the transportation business, but a lot of barges full of goods that need to go up and down river will start passing through the Quad Cities.
Iowa U.S. Congressman Dave Loebsack is reintroducing a national flood center to help in future flooding situations. This was what downtown Davenport looked like after the temporary flood wall failed back in April. Congressman Loebsack says he plans to reintroduce legislation that would better prepare cities like Davenport. The National Flood Center would bring together the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, as well as researchers in higher education, to advise communities affected by flooding disasters and research better prevention measures.
Well, after months of anticipation for hot dog and Italian beef fans, the day has finally come.
Davenport Portillo's officially opens its doors today. News 8's Lauren Jackson joins us live to tell us the history behind the infamous hot dog house. Lauren?
John, Angie, I'm here with Courtney Boyd. She's the field marketing manager for Portillo's. We're going to talk here about this doghouse that we've seen in the parking lot. Courtney, is this where you guys send employees if they mess up orders? I don't understand. The doghouse?
Yes, definitely. No, actually, this is the replica doghouse. So Dick Portillo started Portillo's in 1963, and this is what Portillo's looked like when it started. It's a 16-foot trailer. It didn't even have running water. So since then it has morphed into a big corporation across 60 locations, 8 different states, and we're continuing to grow.
So why do we bring this replica out to these stores?
So a lot of people are, they're diehard Portillo's fans. They know their grandparents or parents brought them to Portillo's when they were kids, and it's just a little bit of nostalgia for them to come and see how we started our roots, the very beginning of Portillo's.
Is it kind of crazy to look at this? This is literally what Portillo's was, and what we see it is now. It's so different.
Yes, it's definitely grown. It's amazing. It's a great company, and I mean, we have delicious food, but we just started out with hot dogs, fries, tamales, and pop. So now we have a very extensive menu. We've got burgers and the Italian beef, of course. It's classic.
Well, thank you, Courtney. Now, this will be open for some pictures later today. You can stand out here on the awning and take pictures with your family if you pop on by. And coming up at 5:30, we're going to get inside the restaurant and give you a little sneak peek about some of the decorations and memorabilia. John, Angie?
All right, just another reason to go there today. Thank you, Lauren. This is Portillo's first location in the state of Iowa. The time is 5:39. Still ahead on Good Morning Quad Cities. New look.
How much you can get this mermaid costume for your dog. This story seems right up year two's alley.
Is it a dog or is it a fish? It's a fish.
Is it a boat? Is it a plane?
I love it. Coming up, and we're talking about more sun-filled skies. You see the sun gleaming there on our Eagle Eye in downtown Davenport. Grab the sunglasses. I'll let you know how many days you're going to use them next.
You're watching WQAD. This is News 8's Good Morning Quad Cities.